Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Jason Soroko, Senior Vice President of Product at Sectigo, to discuss Postquantum, what that is, and the push being made by government and big finance. Jason, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. What is Postquantum and why is it in the spotlight right now?
Wow, I got to tell you, it's a big problem for the future, but today's cryptography is based on the difficulty that traditional digital computers have in solving certain kinds of math problems, essentially. And right now, quantum computers are being developed that alongside a little bit of clever mathematics will be able to actually solve those kinds of problems much, much faster than they were in the past. So therefore, current cryptographic algorithms, some of them are at risk of actually being decrypted by quantum computers at some point in the future.
What is the big push being made by government and the big finance around post-quantum?
Certainly, the White House has actually released at least a couple of memorandum right now calling for not only the US leadership in quantum, which is one important point, but I think more importantly for the audience, it's calling for a prioritized inventory of these cryptographic systems that will be affected. I think that that is what's being called for right now that's got most people talking about this.
How does post-quantum impact web security?
Right now, think about a simple use case that you probably do every day. You take a web browser, you're going to a website. Most of that traffic right now is being encrypted. And that encrypted session is actually using a traditional cryptographic algorithm that will be affected. And so you think a lot of web traffic that you do, you might not be worried about. But I think what we're really talking about here and what the memoranda from the White House is referring to is there's a lot of secrets that are normally transferred across these web traffic and all kinds of other things that go on within the enterprise as well that are using these cryptographic standards and algorithms that will be affected by post-quantum. And so it's vital right now for enterprises to know where are the most important secrets that are actually being transmitted within your enterprise, out to your customers, out to your partners, etc. I think this is how it impacts it today is, this problem of harvest and decrypt within the web community right now. In other words, bad guys are able to record the encrypted sessions, and when quantum computers become sufficiently capable, decryption will be possible. Now we're talking a few years from now, but there may be secrets that are sufficiently important right now.
What kind of use cases for digital certificates are there for the average organization?
I think it's important to note that cryptographic systems that are in question are ubiquitous across most enterprises right now. That's just a blanket statement. But if you think about anything having to do with the web applications, APIs behind that are transmitting data, we're talking about VPN authentication, email certificates, digital signatures, code signing. There's just so many of these use cases. It's really quite ubiquitous across an enterprise. And that's what this call for inventory of these systems are. That's why it's so important.
Jason, do you feel enterprises are behind in post-quantum standards?
I would say that if you don't know your crown jewels and if you don't know your most important secrets right now, then you're probably behind, not just from a post-quantum standpoint, you're behind from a security standpoint. So that's where to start. So this call to arms is really about taking inventory of all of your cryptographic assets. Vendors within the security community can help you with that. And I think that really this harvest and decrypt problem is perhaps where to start. Think about any kind of secrets that you're transmitting in an encrypted manner, anything that even might be digitally signed or an authentication session, any of these kinds of things that use a cryptographic system. Just understand where all of these systems are and where your biggest secrets are being transmitted. I think that if you get that under wraps right now, you'll be right on schedule for when industry catches up and is able to deliver the next set of tools to help with encrypting these kinds of things in a post-quantum world.
And finally, how can you prepare for post-quantum? What are the key steps organizations should take?
Sure, I would say work with your vendors. I would say taking inventory of your cryptographic systems, creating even a sandbox environment to help to gain experience. Right now, the draft standards are available for you to work with. There are some early toolings. Take a look at what some of the new cryptographic standards are looking like. Get used to how they feel, how they're going to operate. Choose what the best standards are. And I would say for those of you who really want to get into this, educate yourself and have a really good look at what NIST and the standards bodies are doing right now with the cryptographic standards.
Actually, Jason, one more question for you. You had said really this is essentially a security issue, right?
It
Do
is.
you think a reskilling of the workforce associated with security and then, of course, the technical side of it, will they need to be reskilled? Is there any additional training that they'll have to take to go post-quantum?
Think of your cryptographic systems now as more like a holistic system rather than a siloed set of technologies. There are terms out there such as cryptographic center of excellence, where you might take security staff, IT staff, risk officers, legal staff, etc., all of whom might have a place to play within this transition to post-quantum. But yes.
All right, interesting. Appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.